You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Challenge Rivals 2 After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Challenge Rivals 2 After Show.
What up, everybody? Bing is still doing, and we are here doing another Challenge Rivals 2 episode Crossing Jordan. Getting the dirt off or something? I'm Roxy Striar. Again, I am not Jesse Janity. Jesse and Nicolette doing big things in Vegas. They'll be back next week with us. But of course, we have the Mark Long.
Sit right there. Boom.
Oh,
left
boom,
eye
baby.
Wink. Left eye
and
wink.
some face that has not been in here for a very long time. So exciting, Frank Sweeney.
It's me. It's my name.
Oh my God, is it you? Because I was confused.
From the TV right to here.
Bringing along the lovely Ayiiia, whose last name, I just can't get it right. You got to say it for us.
Elizarrarás.
It's so sexy when you say it. I would just butcher it. I know. Like, what the hell? Like, people just probably melt over that. Oh my God. I'm going to pretend that's my last name, if I could ever get it right.
What's your last name?
Striar. Not exotic at all.
3 I's in the first name, right?
3 I's and 3 R's in my last name.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
She's like a like a
Triple I,
Wheel of
triple
Fortune
I.
fucking money time.
What was that, Wheel of Fortune?
Wheel of, like if your name was the Wheel of
can I
Fortune,
have
never would
3
guess that.
I's?
Yeah, can I have
All
3
you
I's?
would need is 3 guesses, A, Y, and I.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Still doesn't make it easy.
Wait. Diem just texted me. She wants us
Okay.
to all go jogging right now. Do you guys want to?
Wait, that's so weird because I feel like Ayiiia should.
What's wrong with
She's
her?
such a jog Nazi. God, it's like we're on the challenge and we're supposed to work out.
You tell me, is she always running? Because we obviously don't see that. So we start the episode tonight, and her and Ayiiia are in a fight because she wants to run.
Both of these people know this. When you're on the challenge, there's nothing to do except for drink if you want to drink or work out if you want to work out. That's it. Those
Or
are two
sleep. If
options.
you're Wes,
Or
you
sleep.
sleep and you don't tan because Wes is getting whiter every week. If you
Okay,
notice.
but can you drink and then work out?
Yeah.
You could do both.
So, okay, some people.
Everyone's usually drunk when they're working
so
out.
DM does run a lot, right? She does, but so does Jordan. So do I. So does CT. So does Wes at night. Like people run, you know, like
To and from
people are-
drama.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not. You expect going into these, having seen the past 3 finals, right? You expect to be running a lot in the finals. So getting down to the wire with less and less teams, you'd want to condition a little bit for that. So I can totally understand where DM's coming from on that one.
But at the same time, Ayiiia seemed to be working out really hard in this
bedroom.
episode. No, you guys, later on we'll talk about your fight with Jordan. And by the way, we do have Jordan calling in, so
Coming in
maybe
hot.
we'll get a little drama there. But during your fight with him, we see Ayiia's like sprinting by, doing these whatever ladders she's doing and running through everything. So it doesn't seem like she doesn't work out.
I think that was like
She just did that when the cameras were there, and then she just went back to drinking and laying by the pool.
Totally.
I think DM was the catalyst for that run in that scene specifically. But I think what it really came down to, and that was a solid 30-minute conversation I had with Ayiiia in the beginning of that episode. I think she just wanted to split time between her weightlifting regimen and DM's running. So I think
And DM's all running.
DM's
It's
all
like
running, no
all
weightlifting.
running.
So, I think they just needed to talk and hash it out and kind of split it 50-50 is what it really came down to. But
I don't know why DM is tripping. I mean, she had enough workouts in the bedroom with, who was it?
you mean Ayiiia?
Ayiiia, yeah.
You don't know why Anissa's tripping? Because she was over there giving handies to Ty?
Girl, she has her workouts in the bedroom.
And that's all the weightlifting that she's doing, it's practicing for something.
She's really good at
really,
like wrists and
That grip
rope
strength.
climbing,
Forearm.
holding balls.
I feel like that's just too much. Like lighten your grip a little, girl.
God bless her.
Too much was squeezed.
She loves offering massages, Anisi.
I mean,
Like
it's
late at
really
night.
good.
And you hate accepting them?
No, I just seen it happen. She used to pull this stuff with Dunbar a lot, I think.
But Ayiiia says that she's bigger rivals with DM now than when she came in. Is that not true anymore? Or?
That conversation was only just a little bit evident to the real, like, how much their relationship dissolved over time while they were there. And I think you'll probably see more of it coming up. But yes, that it was evident. It was evident by the way they talked to each other, even just there. Like, DM doesn't really curse that much. So to hear her be like, get your shit together, Ayiiia, you can see them be like, falling further and further apart.
I think it probably has to do with, you always say this, like, you're going stir crazy in there. So you're saying all you can do is work out or drink. I think the third thing you can do is pick fights. Like, and that's why everybody is.
Think about even this house that we had this time. It's all glass, and there's one track that you can walk back and forth. That's it. There's literally not even variation in levels. You can't go into like a secret little corner. There's nothing. You got nothing. The pool's right there. You walk back and forth from the pool. That's all we had. So
who was in your room, by the way? Because they never really established the rooms, which like I think they have in the past. Like I remember. Who was in your room? Like who boys were in your room?
My room was Zach, myself, Sarah, Teresa, and Anissa.
So it was both boys and girls.
Room, yeah.
See, it's weird how some challenges like all boys in the room and then all girls in another room. I don't know how it lays down like that.
Do you guys get closer with your roommates? Is that something that you make alliance with your roommates, or it doesn't really frickin' matter?
I feel it can go both ways, right?
It can go both ways. I mean, those girls down at the end, like the trash bags, the Jemmy, Nani, like Jasmine, those girls.
It's the girls that you don't quite get along with, maybe?
Well, I mean, literally, that part of the house smelled like gonorrhea down there. So those girls.
Like, what does gonorrhea smell like?
Trash. So those girls, they all
Like
kind of
Jemmy.
stayed in their room and like did their thing. So I think in that case, you saw a lot of like roommate bonding. But I mean,
Wouldn't people just swap?
Wes
Sometimes they
did,
do, yeah.
right? So I don't know.
It's like summer camp, you know?
Yeah.
Like whoever's in your bunk.
And you want to get in the room because it's like nice. Like I remember being in rooms with like Johnny and CT and Wes, but like everyone's kind of like knows each other's shit, you know. So like you can't really gameplay talk in the room, so it's a lot of fun because a lot of people don't gameplay. But like when it's mixed, I feel like there could be more chances for gameplay talk when people aren't around, which is kind of fun too.
So sneaky.
Yeah, like sneakiness.
Okay, so getting into this challenge, we've got the blind leaving blind, which is literally what it was.
Good one.
I mean, it's hard because you did so freaking well in this one to be like, why was it so difficult? Why was everybody struggling so much? But what was it about this challenge that everybody, except for you guys, seemed to have such an issue with?
I mean, it's a surprise getting shocked. It didn't feel good at all.
Okay, but related to something, like it felt like being like when you put yourself into a socket in the wall.
It kind of felt like getting a tattoo. You know how like there's that stinging, annoying pain when you get a tattoo and the needle's on your skin? That's what it felt like, except it was constant. The needle never got lifted. So if you're on the wall, if you're on like those little bamboo walls trying to find the hole in the wall, you're getting constantly like tattooed in your wrist and the back in your Achilles.
And that was the thing, right? If you were getting shocked, it meant you were doing well.
It meant you were,
Furthering
navigating
yourself.
the next
that's what was kind of
gap.
fun about it.
Yeah, that's what people seem to not understand it. You were like, do people not realize that the more you're shocked, the better you're doing?
I think it's just
That's
counterintuitive.
really misleading, by the way. Like, John A. had a really hard time because I would think that if you got shot, you're going the wrong way.
I mean, that's
But it was
what
a
like.
But he said that. It wasn't, you didn't have to guess
You get
that.
shocked, you're going the right way. Like, it just makes you not want to go forward.
It's counter. I
'Cause you're
mean,
just
that's why they literally
freaking
train
out.
dogs with that.
Of
And some
course.
people are just as smart as the animals.
So let's go down the list and talk about everybody. I mean, we started with CT and Wes. By the way, about this order, how come Leroy and Ty put themselves third? Like, what did you think the strategy was here?
I like, and you might back me up on this. Sometimes if you're thinking, oh, I'll go last because I'll really get to see it, but sometimes going last puts more pressure on you because you're thinking, shit, these people did so well and we're last. If we fuck up, we're going in. So I like going middle of the road as well.
Second to last is ideal, I think.
Yeah, or even second. But I remember going last one time in a spelling bee, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shit. I was worried the whole
You get the toughest
day.
word.
I think for this one, it could psych you out too. If you are watching people scream and like hearing like a lot of pitfalls of like communication between partners, I think it could psych you out a little bit if you're going dead last.
I would almost think you would want to go first in something like this, though, because you can't see what anybody's doing anyway. It's not like you can learn strategy or tips or anything like that. So why wouldn't you want to just get it over with? He said it was extremely hot that day. Wouldn't you want to just get in, get out, get on the
Sending a
bike?
message, kind of. First is always kind of sending a message
Yeah.
like, you guys don't have my back. I don't really care about you. So I think that
It's like
Ty
a
and
strike.
Leroy with Anissa and DM were like, girls, we know that there's a line in the sand with you guys. And then their strong ties to CT and Wes, that's like an unbreakable bond. So they were like, okay, you four go.
So you really felt like they put you in the best position?
Yeah, they did. Themselves and us, yeah. But we, Ty, Leroy, Johnny, and I kind of had an understanding. I mean, in the beginning, it was a little rocky because everyone wanted to get rid of Johnny and I right away. But after that, we had a little bit of an understanding where we had the
pushed
same
you?
girls voting for us, so it made sense.
Okay, so we had CT and Wes who started, and I'm just gonna throw this out there that Wes looked like a little girl. The entire, I mean, what was with that? And then throwing accusations at other people that they need to quote unquote man up.
That's Wes. I mean, right? I mean, if
What
that's
was
not
that?
the definition of him.
Like I needed him to put his hands down or like grab something a little harder. But you're right, that is I don't know why I'm surprised. Just every time he does something, I'm like,
He just went lip the whole time.
Like, take your own advice.
His knees kind of went in sometimes, and it was like. But in the interviews, he's so on point.
He's so good.
Right.
I'm great.
I don't
Everyone
understand.
else sucks.
He's just two different people, like, and they're polar opposites.
Oh, Wes.
Anyway, going down the guys. So then we had Jordan and Marlon, who just blew it.
They started out of the gate so strong too, and then they just got turned around.
I mean, honestly, they didn't get that wasn't used as the girls a reason to throw them in. But I honestly think every week it should be the two worst teams that go in.
I'm okay with that.
Too easy.
That's too easy.
Too easy for the view. I mean, it's too predictable. They got to.
No, I don't mean by the rules.
As in
I mean
we vote that way.
I would vote somebody in if they did the second worst. I don't know. I just feel like you come there to compete.
Yeah.
I just don't
That's how. I
understand
mean,
why
that's
they
how
did
it
a-
should happen. But you're dealing with animals. You know
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
understand why they went in a complete circle. Like, don't you think like if you went in a circle, you'd start in the beginning again?
What do you mean with those two turning
Like, yeah,
around?
their technique. Like, it's just they went in a circle and they just stayed.
Okay, guys. I think we have Jordan on the phone. Jordan, are you here with us?
Jordan.
Yeah, we can. Can you hear us, Jordan? Ooh, what's going on with
Jordan,
our
in the
connection there?
basement.
Stephen in the booth.
Hello?
There.
Oh, hey, there we are. So,
Bam.
Jordan, we're talking about the
Hey,
we're talking about the challenge right now, and we're talking about how you guys had a little bit of a struggle getting through this maze here. You want to tell us what happened?
How you guys sucked.
No.
Just kidding.
Oh. Okay. Well,
I really
maybe
upset
we'll
him
get a
there.
better. Yeah,
He hung up.
he's pissed. Maybe we'll get a better connection with him in a minute. But anyway, we can move on to
What a horrible start for those two. Is he still on?
no. We'll get him back. Anyway,
right.
let's move on. We'll talk to him about his time there. But Leroy and Ty, really, they had to go back to the entrance. They did the worst job of anybody there.
So funny to watch.
Were they the only guy team to go back to the start?
Yeah.
It just
that was so funny.
I feel like they were feeling that canvas, whatever the entrance thing was, for like 4 minutes before Leroy finally was like, "Bro, I feel like this isn't the end. This is probably the beginning.
We've moved 2 feet.
Like, literally, I feel like once you feel tarp, you realize, shit, I'm not in the right place.
The starting point.
Like,
Yep.
no,
It was so funny.
I mean-
just sitting on the other side of the start.
And you got to
line,
watch a
seeing
lot of it too. So that
Yeah.
no, you only get to listen to it.
No,
No, they got
we
to
could
watch on
see
the
them
other
on the other side of that tarp. It's this thin, so we knew where they were in the beginning. And they're like, "Oh, brother, come on, brother, we gotta get." It was just so. It was so great.
So do you feel like through that you learned from their mistakes, like what way to go, even though you can't see the maze?
You never really learn which way to go in this, but you can tell that definitely one person definitely has to take the reins. That's for sure. That and also you assess that it's gonna hurt, so the more you scream, you're doing better. So I just went into it with Johnny, and we were like, "It's gonna hurt. Let's just do this. Let's shoot the gap as quickly as possible, and run our hand along it."
I feel like that's the best strategy. Just move as quickly as can, like ripping off a Band-Aid instead of slowly peeling it off, because you're gonna it's the same amount of pain, right?
Yeah, but if you're standing in the middle, okay, so the way it worked is the electrical wires ran on the bamboo fences, right? So if you're standing in the very middle, you're not getting shocked.
And you said you had on your wrists and ankles.
Yeah.
So if you're standing in the very middle and you could find a way to maneuver so that you didn't touch the sides, if you had vision, whatever.
If you had
then-
vision,
right.
yeah.
So, but then you wouldn't be shocked and you could get all the way through.
Yeah.
So
But-
is one teammate getting shocked more than the other?
No, well, it depends on who's closer to the
Who's closest.
fence.
Did you get shocked in the ankles too?
Yeah, that hurt worse.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's why Wes was going limp on the knees.
Yeah.
So brutal. Okay, so you guys killed it, and then we have Preston and Knight, who followed Camilla the whole time. Was she doing that well? I mean, I loved watching this challenge. Honestly, I always talk about how I like things in multiple parts. This didn't have that, but it was hysterical to watch. So honestly,
funny.
it didn't bother me that it was all one big maze. But I couldn't tell the timing at all. Like when at the end, I mean, they showed the same amount of time for you guys. I just knew you did well because you guys were like, yeah, we did so well. And everybody else, when they walk out, was like, crap, we
God.
blew it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I feel like Camilla was killing it, but we didn't even know.
She did do really well. She led them through that really quickly. I personally, when I was watching it, I thought that group went faster than CT and Wes and Ayiiia and DM did. It just felt that way, but I was on two different sides of the thing. I could watch it
Right.
from one end, not the other. So I don't know.
Were you guys trying to work together, help the girls? The guys help the girls help the guy?
We started trying to help Nani and John A, but we knew we had to get it. It was a guy's day, so we wanted to win. But we were like, all right, Nani, John A, follow our voices the whole time through. But
And were they just being babies about the whole thing? Like it seemed you all had to go through the same thing, but they were
I think
like
since
little Girl
since it
Scouts.
was a girls' day, some girls are like, I don't even care.
They don't even try.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
They were crying.
I know.
Or at least John A.
Johnny
was.
was crying.
I mean, I kind of felt bad, but at the same time, I was laughing at her, and then I felt bad for laughing. I mean, when you're standing there, do you feel
It was
guilty?
like a half hour. I'm not kidding. They like clocked it in at like 20 minutes or a half hour or something like
and
that.
then they
Of them
DQ'd and
just
they hadn't
standing
even
right
moved
there.
like a freaking foot.
Oh,
That's
it was so
awesome.
funny.
Their pain tolerance was
Tame
just
Paul,
terrible.
Paltane, same thing.
Tame
I mean, even
tolerance was-
Cara Maria is like really good at that stuff, and she hated
she
it.
was a mess,
she
too.
hated
Okay,
it.
that pissed me off.
Is she really?
All she talks about is S&M.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's all
I
she
thought
talks
she was gonna
about.
kill this challenge, and she just.
And like, what
Didn't.
did you were describing last week? She's the one
She's
who like
a dom.
does.
She's a
dom.
dominatrix.
She's a dom.
That's
so,
a dominatrix. For sure.
So, bitch, what are you doing? Like, no, seriously.
I would think that I do great at this challenge because I love pain, but then I see Cara Maria like freaking out about it, and I'm like,
She
fuck.
does. It's weird.
Like,
Because if you actually love pain, I feel like you would. But she was like, this isn't sexy pain. This is ouchie pain or
Right.
whatever she
Pain
said.
is pain.
I feel like pain is pain, right? So I feel like she's just kind of bullshitting us on this whole
she should
S&M
have just
thing. and it's
stripped
like,
her clothes off. Maybe
Yeah.
that would have been a little better.
Is it-
Attach the things to her
Nipples.
boobies.
You guys know her. Is this S&M thing an act or you
I don't know
really
her
know?
in the bedroom, so I don't know.
I need one of you guys.
I mean, I saw a little bit on Cutthroat with her and Abram. She would come back with like literally like cuts on her back because he would scratch her so deep.
You guys need
I
to
was like,
go
"Damn, you go, girl."
undercover, and one of the three of you needs to get her in the bedroom and just tell me what's up.
Well, out of us two, I think I'll have the best look.
She'll take it.
Go, I'm gonna vote Ayiiia with 3 eyes.
Thank you.
I'm in on you too. Okay, so your goal is by what do you need? Like a month? Get back to us.
Maybe
5
like a
weeks.
week and a half.
A week and a half.
She's a smooth talker.
Confident. Okay. Well, anyway, so Anissa and Diem win. Which great, they get to make the order. They're so freaking excited. But they hated each other early in the week, and their chemistry sucked.
Moral victory.
Yeah.
It is.
That means they love each other in Fluid. I like when they were going, shh, oh, let's hear the ocean.
Who was that, Cook?
Where's Gar-
Was that actually helpful? Like when
I
everybody
think
was
they were
like,
trying to judge
orient
where it
yourself.
was.
Yeah.
And-
They're trying to
still.
compass themselves in it.
It was more
Wait a
helpful
minute.
that you could hear people laughing at the end or talking at the beginning.
They
Like
should have just started walking down the beach.
Cara
Just
Maria's
get
like,
out of the
shut
minute.
up, and she's like, oh no, Cara Maria's like talking. Cook's like, shut up, I'm trying to hear the ocean.
So
Ridiculous.
Take it in.
Anyway, you guys obviously win, and our poor boy Leroy. I didn't really feel that bad for Ty, but Leroy, I always feel so bad. He just like keeps getting hit when he's down.
Because Leroy is a solid man.
He is.
He's
You
so
know?
not that Ty isn't. I have nothing against Ty. I don't know him as well, but like Leroy's just such a fierce competitor. Usually, I feel like, and Leroy does all these tough mutters, which
With
you're
the
getting
tasers.
shot for all the
Yeah.
time. So
And
I don't.
Ayiiia was saying he's always just so calm.
He's
and
so calm.
Even
Right.
going in, he's like, I'm
He's
going
like,
in.
I got this.
I'm going
And Jordan's like hopping up and down, like, I got this. And I'm just like, dude, it looks like he's got it. He's way more chill.
Absolutely. And Ty's the one who dragged Leroy through the thing, and Leroy at the end was like, thank you so much. What's the deal? I mean, you've done Tough Mudders too. This was different than that? A
Tough
different kind
Mudder's
of show?
way worse. That was the worst pain. I was so afraid going into this because I thought it was going to be like that taser from Tough Mudder, and I felt that thing in my joints for like 2 hours afterwards. So I was going into this, and I was like, this is going to be the worst
Are those
thing
the ones
ever.
hanging down?
The hanging
Yeah,
taser.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for people who don't know what a Tough Mudder is, it's like
Basically a final challenge.
Yeah. pretty
yeah, it's a
much.
competition that people do who are really in great shape that I would die at.
Like Frank and I. would
That
probably
Emily
really
does for fun.
It's really fun. It is.
And it's like 15 miles, whatever. Anyway, so they shock you at some point. So I figured that
Yeah.
he'd be good at this, but
And then there's these Arctic enema they have too. That's one of the things. You jump in the cold water.
The freezing cold
Yeah.
water. You got to get your head wet too.
Oh,
Except for
that-
the bar.
Let's
That's a
go.
challenge
Let's
thing,
do one
too.
day, Rox.
Girl, we'll
If
get
you
coffee.
come with
Team
me,
Real
yeah.
World. Let's do it.
Yeah.
we'll get coffee. You come with me to hot yoga, and I'll do a Tough Mudder.
Begs me to hot yoga every week.
Yeah, what's the deal?
It's the Bikram.
I'm trying to get her to CrossFit.
no. Okay, well,
We'll get into that after.
we'll all plan, we'll be great at the challenge because we do all of our exercising thing. LA, we're tough, whatever. Anyway, moving on. So then we've got this whole thing with Knight and Preston, how the guys don't want to throw Knight and Preston in, which, are you on team that?
No. I mean, I'm on, I want to be safe, right? I'm on, I want to do well. I'm on, I want to get to the final. So keeping Knight and Preston around is good because even if they made it to a final, they're going to die. If they make it to the next challenge, they're going to die. It's an automatic lose for the guys, so someone's going into the jungle every time.
But
They're
what's
terrible.
more important, keeping the teams around that you have alliances with, or more important to keep the teams around that you can beat?
Beat.
That close to the end, keep the teams around you can beat.
Okay, so you didn't gun for Jordan. It seemed like in this episode when we're watching that you said
Of course, they're a
you
good
girls
team.
should throw in Jordan.
Right, and I
But-
did. Okay, it seems really contradictory, and it
Yeah, explain
might
to us
have
the whole
been.
situation.
Of course you want the team that's better to go in, right? Of course you do. Like, so if the girls are saying, Johnny and Frank, this serves you, be honest, just say they're a good team and this serves you. I said, and literally verbatim on the show, they said it in like fucking whatever that little closed captioning is. I'll say it, they're a good team, of course. As in, of course I want them to go in, they're a good team. Did I follow that up with, but I made a pact with Jordan saying that I can't really say his name, so I'm going to leave it up to you girls. Johnny, we should leave the room. Let's let these girls decide. Yeah, I did. Did they show that? No. So really, what pissed me off the most was when Jordan's instigatory comment of saying, you're campaigning against me. I was like, dude, I'm not. Everyone else here is. I'm really not trying to, because I had a lot of respect for him. I think we have a mutual respect for one another, and out of every guy there, he and I were hands down the best ones in the house as far as competition comes. So
right here, right now.
Oh, that's his voicemail.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so why did you feel like then he gunned after you when everybody else, if you had said something, but everybody else was saying anything?
You know, it's kicking. It's like your friend kicking you in the nuts.
It was a good fight too. It was a good TV fight.
Why do you also say that you two were by far the best there? In terms of what?
Well-roundedness. When it comes to the challenge, you can't. Your biceps aren't going to really get you anywhere.
You have to be mentally tough, physically tough. You have to have good relations and social game with the house. You know, and I think it's kind of like the way to win.
But why you guys over Johnny, CT? Why would you say that the two of you were the top two?
Johnny's doesn't have the endurance to last a really long time. If it was,
and Johnny has history of lots of kind of social game. Not the best social game with some of the people in the house.
Which is so funny to watch him say all this shit about me in my game. But anyways,
do you get hurt,
it's not perfect, obviously, but
after the fact, because I know you and Johnny are cool. So after things like this happen, when you're watching, going back what he said, does it hurt, or do you just have to brush it off for like it was at the time?
No, I mean it's neither here nor there. It's just.
Okay, we're gonna try this again. Do we have our friend Jordan on the line?
Yes, ma'am, you do.
Jordan, so much better.
The man of the hour.
So we're right now talking about you and Frank and the issues that you guys had. How come you felt the need to go after Frank about the fact that he was trying to throw you guys in? You didn't go after anybody else. Why was it Frank that you wanted to call out?
Yeah.
Really, because Frank and I were so close. You know, from day one, Johnny and Frank and myself, we all kind of came together, especially Frank and I. We're really, really similar, and we really help each other out. We balance out pretty well. And to have that little alliance or little, friendship at the beginning, and then to hear them blatantly telling the girls, no, switch your votes and vote this way, it was kind of like, all right, well, now I see how it's played, and we'll play.
I was wrong. In an ideal world, I wouldn't have been a part of that conversation with the girls at all. I should have let Johnny handle his shit, let him look like the bad guy and bowed out. Because like Jordan just said, him and I had not only like established a sort of alliance, but we established a friendship. So I should have bowed out of that conversation in general. But I didn't, so it was my bad, really.
Had that conversation not happened, do you think the girls wouldn't have voted them in?
Had that conversation not happened, Preston and I would have been going in.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, they would have.
So how do you guys like move on from things like that? You have to think it's just the game, and as a person.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do. You know that it's a game. We knew from the very beginning that eventually you're going to have to vote a friend in. I said it the week before. I love Teresa, but I'm sorry. I have to do what's best for my team, and that's what Frank and Johnny were doing. I mean, as much as I didn't like it because I was on the other end, you have to do what's best for your team. And no way, if I'm Frank and Johnny, do I want to see Marlon and Jordan in a final over Knight and Preston if I have something to say about it.
So had the situation's been reversed, do you think that you would have said something to the girls about voting them in? Would you have tried to keep Knight and Preston around because obviously they're a weaker team?
If we were in Frank and Johnny's shoes?
Yeah.
If we had that kind of pool, I think that we definitely would have politicked it up a little bit more. So I would have to say yeah and agree that we would have been doing the same things. But we didn't come into the house with the relationships that they did, unfortunately. So they had the pool, and if you've got it, why not use it?
Jordan, so when you when you hear this is going down, and when you hear the politicking is going down, and you're in the next room, and I know there's glass walls, and you hear a lot of things. Do you then think, because you became close with Frank, do you think revenge at that point? Do you think this is just the way the game works? What goes through your mind, and are you seeking revenge and putting like some sort of vendetta on these two?
Well, immediately the first thing that happens is, yeah, I can't wait to go in, win, and come back just for these fuckers. Like this is what I'm looking for. You know, you have to search week in and week out. You know, granted, yeah, the money's there, but week in, week out, you have to find a new way to push yourself. What am I going to fight for this week? And that was just something that we used, and yeah, we just kind of flipped it around and used it as, okay, well, we're coming back and we want to see you.
They earned their stripes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hear that there was a little situation that we didn't see on camera. After you guys got in this verbal altercation, there was actually some wrestling going on in the house.
And it wasn't just me and Jordan either. It was everybody. Everyone turned up that night.
So what happened?
I don't know why they didn't show. The girls were wrestling. The dudes were wrestling.
Usually, if they can show wrestling...
I cannot believe that they did not show Emily and Nani wrestling.
Because it got erotic.
Show that.
Emily and Nani.
Let's talk about it. Describe how that was.
What do you mean describe?
You slide off your chair.
Oh my God.
No, but in all seriousness, I don't need the intimate details of the erotica, but
I do.
Who fought? What happened? What did we miss?
Listen, I think that this fight, in general, the fight between Jordan and I, is like what a challenge fight should actually be about if you're going to have an argument on a challenge. Because it's about the game.
Yeah.
And it was about dudes kind of puffing their chest and having a dick measuring contest. And what better place to do that than in the challenge house? You know what I mean? So everything he just answered is the same thing I would say if the roles were reversed. So I can't be mad about this fight. I wouldn't be mad at anything he said if we were in the opposite situation. But at the time, yeah, I wanted to prove that I had a bigger dick. That's just how it was. You know what I mean? And
Jordan, everybody always trying to prove that you have a smaller dick.
I know. Everyone's trying to prove my dick.
What an issue. Okay, so but tell us about the actual wrestling going
Jordan
on.
clearly has a fine dick. He's laying it down to all these ladies. He'll be all right. The kid's going to survive.
Oh, his words, not mine.
The kid's going to be okay.
Bringing it to a different level. I want to hear about the wrestling. Tell me what happened.
No, so this smart ass, Jordan, called Emily and I were just drunk and wrestling after he and I got into it because she was trying to calm
You were wrestling
me down.
Emily.
Yeah, totally fair match.
Second man.
That is a fair match. That is a fair match.
Emily and any dude in the house is a fair match.
Exactly.
And Jordan's like, oh, look at these two girls fighting. And I was like, excuse me, what? I'm hammered. So I was like, who you calling a girl? Jordan. Let's fucking do this. Shirts come off, sweat starts dripping, and it possibly could have been erotic as well. Yeah.
It was very slippery.
Okay, so everybody, last week, everybody was making bets on which one of you would have won in a fight because we thought we were going to see more of a fight because we saw you guys in each other's faces. So do we have an answer for our viewers? Who wins in the fight?
You'll have to tune into the next season of The Challenge to find out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is this a cliffhanger?
What a teaser.
It's a cliffhanger.
What is that? Any other big notable wrestling matches that we missed?
Marlon got into a lot, but I think he just wanted to get his hands on a dude. So I feel like that was the motivation there.
Lay down.
Oh my God, the song. We got to pull that up for the end. Lay down.
Julio, you got to hear this.
Okay, and then also when you guys were fighting, I saw that Emily came to you, Jordan. Are you guys close? I didn't know that she would feel comfortable coming to you saying, don't play so innocent. Were you pissed about that, or you guys were friends?
She said what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
She said, don't play innocent. You know, you called them out. You said, so how's the campaign going? And she kind of called you out on it. I wasn't expecting that from her.
Well, you know, they really didn't show. Emily and we got really close. I called her coach for the longest time because that's kind of, you know, she's got the balls and the brains that she'll put you in your place and stuff like that. So I really enjoy Emily's company. I really enjoy our talks. And, yeah, she was definitely in the right place when she came up and was kind of acting like my coach and saying, what are you trying to do? You know, you're trying to stir up more stuff, which I was. Because, I mean, I really just wanted, you know, it's one of those things where you want answers now. You know, you're like, well, my friend stabbed me in the back. And the best way I could figure was just to ask how the politics was coming.
And you're close with Emily as well?
Yeah, I think Emily actually got the shittiest end of this stick because for the week or 2 weeks or however long Jordan and I weren't talking to each other.
You weren't speaking for a couple weeks.
No, she was not. She was stuck in the middle, and she felt like crap because her 2 boys who were there, because Jordan and I were her boys the whole time we were there. I mean, like, the 3 of us rolled really hard together, and then we were fighting, and she was, like, trying to go back and forth, support each other, like, support one of the other's jerseys.
Play the middle road, yep.
It's so interesting because from watching the show, you would never think the 3 of you were... Right, you never see friendships.
Only fights.
Which is why I'm sure you guys get this in all the interviews you do. People are always asking, like, who are you actually close with? Who are you not? And so it's kind of confusing when you watch this. So, Jordan, I'm going to throw the question to you. Who are you close with from the show still today, and who not so much?
Well, I mean, a lot of the people we're talking about now, Frank, Emily, Paula, really, I mean, we all stayed very, very close. You know, of course, Marlon and I are good friends and everything, but Jimmy and I, we still talk regularly. Knight.
So does Frank and Jimmy. Frank and Jimmy.
And Frank and Knight. BFFs.
Well, we talk shit on Twitter. That's it.
I don't pick sides, so I'm friends with all.
So coming out of this, if you had to be on Rivals 3 with somebody from the show, both of you, who is it from
Jordan. I want Jordan.
Oh, you damn straight.
Hand us the money right now.
With Frank.
You just play that argument. It's already done. That's a casting gem.
You guys have to pretend to hate each other still.
Yeah, you got to do like some Twitter wars.
Like Leroy and Ty pretended to hate each other.
Who are you trying to be on rival? Who's your rival right now?
Who's my rival?
Like we were talking the other week about who should be your rival.
calling like Zach out.
Oh, Zach. That's who
Zach,
it is.
that fuck.
Good luck with that.
Zach would be everybody's.
Yeah,
Be real.
No, seriously. Okay.
I'll call you guys out next. And then I'll be like, there's my rival.
You just gotta call the person out who's the strongest. That's how it works.
I'm calling out TJ Lavin's my fucking rival. Fuck you.
I want to see him compete. I really do.
Awesome.
Let's move on to the jungle. So, rookie's first time in the jungle. I can't believe you guys made it so far into the game without being thrown in. Were you kind of surprised about that?
Yeah, I really was. As soon as Marlon and I got paired together, I told him, I was like, man, I would expect the first jungle to be us. And sure as shit, the first day, CT was walking around saying, you know, before the challenge, he was already saying rookies in the jungle. You know, we just vote rookies tonight, keep it simple. So really, whenever TJ threw the twist that the girls were voting for the guys, that was our saving grace.
How do you know that CT was going around saying that before the challenge started? Like, you guys all text about it, or?
No, I heard him. I mean, he walks by our room.
House,
Literally.
I don't know why, but everyone decides to politics right by us and just let us know what they're gonna do.
What do you mean he plays a bad game? In what sense?
Sloppy. You always know what his next move is going to be, so you can anticipate it. It's
but you don't think that's what he's trying to do, though?
See, no, he's not that bright. Come on, Ayiiia. Don't give him that much credit.
No way. Do not give him that much credit.
He gets pretty far in most of these challenges, so...
I mean, you would too if you laid your dick in everything and every hole there.
And it was all girls that voting
for you.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
What's weird is that the girls aren't like, wait, this isn't fair. He's banging all of us.
I know. That's why I keep saying on here, like, why don't the girls just stop and look at each other and be like, hold on.
That'd be me.
No, you'd be like, hold up, girls. Why aren't you guys
the power of the pussy is real. The power of the dick is not.
It's unbelievable. Like, they all fight over him. It's insane. Like, if you ever watch the show, just let Diem have him. Even if she doesn't want him, like, just let him be her
But that's the
baggage.
ultimate storyline, though.
I know.
Yeah.
That's the storyline, man.
There you go. Storyline is the best word for that.
Okay, again, moving on to
Roxy
the
loves
action. What's the deal with everybody saying I love him?
Because you're from Boston. He's from
Whatever,
Boston.
we're both from the same place. He seems like
You
a
like the
fine
smell
guy.
of a warm belly button? Because that's
that what he
literally
smells
what he
like?
smells
No,
like.
yeah, you want to talk about belly buttons? Let's talk about belly buttons, Frank.
All right, not my smelly belly. That's the one. That's the one fault I have.
People in glass houses, people with smelly belly buttons.
But my whole body doesn't smell like it. Just that little area.
He's got a smelly button.
We're moving on to the jungle. Okay, so let's be honest here, Jordan. When you walked up and you saw what the actual jungle was this time, were you like, holy shit, or were you like, okay, we can do this?
Yeah, we got a glimpse of it as the bus pulled up. We got a glimpse through the trees, and we immediately started celebrating right then. We were just like, all right, let's go. We asked for this, so now it's time to perform, and we were ready. You know, we both grew up.
Okay, I feel like, though, don't you look at Ty and Leroy as like these two huge effing dudes? Isn't that scary at all, or no?
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Both of them are amazing athletes, and they both have great size, which is perfect for that drill. But I don't know. There was just something about the way Marlon and I were working together, and with challenges. I can already tell. I mean, not that I've been on a lot, but I can see that it's not the size and stuff of the athlete. It's how athletic you can be. So how bad you wanted it and how well you can make things happen, I think is the best recipe. And I think that we had a really good dose of what we needed. So I was pretty confident going into that.
And Jordan, were you confident? Because the thing that used to bother me is going up and watching elimination rounds, and it takes like 15 minutes to explain it, and there's fucking ropes and hammers and saws.
Yeah.
At least you walk up and and you're kind of, your balls are out on the table and you know what you have to do, and it's so simple. I bet.
Simple, yeah. Simple and heads up was exactly what we wanted, and they gave it to us. Marlon and I, we talked. And we told each other, make a big point to just be vocal about what we want all week, and hopefully the challenge gods would hear us and give us what we want.
Right.
So we preached about how physical we wanted to be and how we wanted to show off our strength, and that's what we got.
What was the deal that you guys were talking about? Obviously, I don't know the behind the scenes as much as you do, but the wrestling thing about you can't hold somebody and you can't drag them back. You can only, during this competition, they seem to be pinning each other down.
Yeah, I almost thought at the end there, Jordan, I almost thought like TJ was going to pull the old classic production foul and claim that Marlon was holding him down, but obviously they didn't. But did they say anything like that? Or because I noticed you did the classic spin move on Leroy at the end.
Yeah.
Were you worried about that? Because I think they kind of started wrestling a little bit more than playing the football game.
Watching today was the first time that I got to see, what Marlon actually went through on his end. As you guys could see, I had my hand full with Leroy. So when Marlon was handling that, they taped our hands. Your hands are taped in a ball, so you can't use your actual hands to actually grasp like jersey or anything. But they never said anything about wrapping up. And, that's what Marlon did. So,
gotcha.
Hopefully, I'm just glad, that we got lucky enough to not, step on any lines or toes or anything. But kudos, couldn't be more proud of Marlon and the work that he put in on that last round to get me enough time to do what needed to be done.
How did you guys choose who was on the offense, who was on the defense?
Oh, that was easy. We put a horsepower up front and the speed in the back.
Were there any rules?
Marlon, I say this every time. I would put Marlon up there as one of the top two strongest in the house. He may not, size-wise may not, but the dude can lift a house.
What do you think about that?
Marlon's really strong, for sure.
I mean, he was taking weights that Zach was straining with and just picking him up with a cigarette in his mouth. Like, this is heavy.
And that's because of his background in football?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He used to squat over 700 pounds.
So you felt strong about him as your partner the whole time?
Yeah. I definitely felt strong about Mark. Well, like I said, these challenges aren't about size and strength, and with all that muscle, it takes a lot of oxygen to run all that muscle for long periods of time. But for the most part, yeah, we felt very strong. We felt very balanced, and we just played our game as best we could.
I think, Jordan, you'd agree with me on this. I think it's really about functional strength, and it's what you can do with how strong you are. So maybe you're not putting up 700, you're not squatting 700 pounds, but if you're functionally being able to squat a lot of these challenges are repetitious, endurance, balance. It's about how you can use your strength. It's not really about being the strongest one there. So
and that's what I was telling Roxy. I was like, Dunbar is a very strong man, but his agility and his athleticism is not great at all. So he would always just flounder at some of these things where you think he would do great.
But is the best thing you can hope for in a partner the exact opposite of your skill set, or do you want somebody with the same? Don't you want them to have the things that you can't?
I mean, if
you would think opposite, because then you would think you're well-rounded. But really being pretty close to the same is the best, because you'll find challenges that one will excel at and the other one will die. And, you know,
Spoiler alert.
The finish of the final is how you did both together. And a first place and a last place, they don't come out to be a first place, you know.
Yeah.
But a third and a fourth come out to be pretty good in the end. So you really want to be balanced, I would say, for my liking.
You guys end up winning, and it seemed like when you came back in the house, we got some footage of Marlon, and he had a little makeout session with the Buddha, but we didn't really see you. So were you just like, I'm going to bed, or you didn't have anybody that you wanted to talk to? You were pissed? What was going on there?
From day one, I told Marlon, dude, we have to do what we do and keep our heads down. And after we won our first jungle, I knew that we could not get overconfident. We beat a great team in probably the best, you know, elimination thus far in the game, and it would be really easy to get ahead of ourselves, but steady as she goes. So I really didn't even want to go out that night. I think we did go out that night, but I didn't even want to go out. I just kind of, you know, thanks for the congratulations.
You want to unwind a little bit.
Yeah, you know, just kind of relax, because you think you're going the entire day. You're sitting there like, when is it time to leave for this thing? And you're just sitting there ready to go, waiting, running scenarios through your head, wondering what challenge it's going to be. So I was ready to just chill out.
Did you do the classic, like NO explode energy fucking concoction that everyone mixes for you before the final show?
I don't know if I did a pre-workout or not. I normally don't, but there's no telling. For the first one, I might have been looking to get jacked as possible. So.
Oh, is that spoiler that there is more than one to come?
I don't know. I smoke a lot, so.
You know, hypothetically. Just facetious.
Okay, and the question that we haven't asked you yet, which obviously you knew was coming at some point, is about John A. So what's going on here? A little bit of a showmance?
Well, explain your reference to showman.
Better be careful. Her girlfriend is in the studio right now. Ayiiia will kill you.
Why? You guys are
That's my
close?
girl.
What?
Oh,
I
okay.
would kill for her.
Really?
Really.
Oh, okay. Well, then careful, I guess.
Hey,
but-
well then,
No,
Jordan,
no. To answer, I absolutely adore Johnny. I think she's great. She's one of the best people that's ever been on a challenge. I just think with where we each were in our lives and the challenge and everything, we were just looking for a friend, somewhere that we could, you know, confide and just be comfortable. And that's what we both were for each other. So we're still great friends today. And
I'm going to say that's a
you know,
no.
I couldn't say enough nice things about
I'd say
her.
that's a negative.
That was the most PC answer I have ever heard anybody give.
So no, it wasn't a showman's, but we like to make out.
So there's no
Yeah.
makeout sessions post-show?
So what was that?
No makeout sessions post-show? No late-night booty calls when you're in different states? Like,
I did not say that.
ooh,
You know,
okay.
You
X's
just asked
too.
about the show.
That is true. That is very true. Okay, so anyway, guys, the next thing we see is this weird Ayiiia tie thing. Can somebody tell me what happened there?
I don't know.
I mean,
That's my room, and I still don't know. So,
obviously I hadn't mentioned it yet, but
Why did they? What was the
was like-
goal of walking to the bed? Was that just, hey, was it a massage involved, or was that
She's
just?
usually giving out massages.
Right,
So I'm
so that's
assuming it started as
fatigue.
a massage. And
Well, she was already naked by the time they were in bed.
I don't know what she was
She stripped
doing.
before that.
She's a secret massager with happy ending finisher.
what do you like?
Yeah, well, Ayiiia, she's just, you know, when alcohol gets involved, I don't care what way she says she sways.
She gets
when
straight.
alcohol gets involved, she's just looking for it.
touched.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was a nice
Fluttered.
goodbye send-off to him. Like, remember me always, XOXO.
XOXO.
Handjob's my OTPHJ reference.
Over the pants.
Over the pants handjob. Like, I guess
OTPHA?
you got to get it in somehow there.
Of course.
Anyway.
It gets lonely in the jungle.
Hey,
So-
the struggle is real.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
God.
struggle is real in the jungle.
We need to move on from
Clearly.
that. Clearly, the struggle is real. Okay, and then
down.
you with your whole the last thing we see is
Oh, an old
I'm
man.
breaking out of my cage.
An
And,
old man Bananas telling me I can't do it.
Yeah.
So-
I gotta follow Frank around all the time.
Yeah, every time I turn my back.
Let me pose this question to Johnny Bananas because we know he's watching this.
Love it.
Is he serious with these interviews sometimes? That's all I gotta ask. Not like, I mean, in the house he was like we never had a conversation like that. And then every time we cut to an interview, it's like,
He acts like the father.
oh man, Frank again.
But that's the ironic thing is because usually, I mean, I've done with challenge with him. Usually, he's the one being the aggressor in the house. He's not just sitting back there being the quiet one. So I get shocked
he had a
because I
hand
know
in
him so
every
well.
political move made.
But
I don't know why
You
Maybe,
feel like
maybe he's trying to be more of a stealth player these days rather than an in-your-face, get off me, bitch.
is he just
player, you
giving
know?
the audience what they want? Maybe you know.
He's great.
I don't know. It's like pretty easy to like
I think he's just catering to what his body can do now.
What do you
Is that
mean?
foreshadowing?
woof.
Is that
Oh
Getting
no.
old. He's got to go more the
out
political
of that
route
one.
than the rough route.
There you go.
But what did you even say that he was so pissed at you about at the very end? You're like, I'm gonna.
Game's about to get real. I want to like. Now it's time to shake some stuff
And then
up.
it freeze framed on Jemmy
Yes.
face,
That
which
is
you
the
love.
most terrifying thing that it could ever stop on. I will literally not be able to sleep tonight because of that.
But is there a
Poor Jemmy.
can we expect
Really?
Listen,
Poor her mother
not
for
really.
birthing that.
can we expect a Frank Jemmy face off at some point?
Honestly, I think Jemmy fights with herself 95% of the time, and like maybe somebody else like is a casualty to that. Just
Okay, but
catch
last
up.
week we hear that from multiple girls that she wins the fakest girl in the house. Would you agree with that?
absolutely. That's why I have a problem with her.
I don't
because-
even know her, and I never.
You really think that? I didn't think Jimmy was fake at all. I mean, I thought
Because-
she kept it pretty real.
I'll
I mean,
tell
it
you-
may not be what you want to hear all the time, but
And that's fine, because that's absolutely okay if it's not what you want to hear. I would appreciate that. Honesty is where, dishonesty rather is
you
where I
live
get
in
pissed
honest
off.
land. Yeah.
I just can't deal with her sitting in a room, starting a lot of rumors, and then inserting herself into other people's lives. That's what I don't like. And with serious real life repercussions that I don't even feel comfortable talking about, but with like actual real life consequences.
Like non-challenge stuff.
Non-challenge related consequences that she somehow became involved in with my life that I just can't get behind her anymore.
So if you had been asked the question, who's the fakest person in the house, the answer you would have gave was Jemmy.
Absolutely.
Jordan, what would you have said?
fakest in the house. Man, glad we didn't have to answer that one. But
now you do.
I don't. Yeah. Man, fakest in the house. I don't know. Probably CT.
Or,
Well, you know, I don't even know if you call it fake. He's just very, very two-faced. Is that same? Can we use that as fake?
Yeah.
Jordan, that's just because when he doesn't take his Seroquel, he's like all over the place. So that's just bipolar disorder.
Be easy.
Oh, there you go. Never mind.
Be easy.
Okay.
I could see Frank and CT in like a Rivals.
Please.
You know?
And you would cry.
I'd walk
You'd be
out.
Really? Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
If you were
really
paired
would.
with him,
I
you.
wouldn't do that. No.
So you weren't as big a rivals with Johnny going into this as you would have been
I
with
didn't
CT.
know him. I think, like in the true, like I've said this in a few instances. I think in the true sense of rivals, yes, absolutely, because a rival is someone you compete with. Jordan is today, whether or not we get along, still my rival because I want to beat his ass. You know, like he's the guy I look at for competition. Zach is a rival of mine. I want to beat him in a competition. Johnny was someone I wanted to beat in a competition because he had a lot of bark and talking about the new kids, things like that. So in the true sense of what a rivalry really is, yeah, Johnny and I were definitely rivals in the sense that I don't like CT, I don't like Knight, I don't like Jemmy. I don't want to be partners with them. That would just be
That'd be
miserable.
like the challenge enemies.
Yeah, I think we get like rivals and enemies confused sometimes with the show.
That's a good point. I never even thought about it like that.
That was really well put, sir.
Well put.
fucking smart.
You
Well
are
put,
fucking
Franklin.
smart, dude. Now you got a CT voice going on. Wicked fucking smart. Okay, but Jordan, we need your help to talk about predictions because we had a little DVR
Yeah,
issue
what
go
did the
on.
preview
so
show?
what do we get in the
Yeah,
previews?
what did they preview?
We saw. Yeah, that's where we freeze framed
Just
on
freeze
Jemmy.
framed on Jemmy's face and it stopped.
What happened there? Any remember?
On the preview for what?
For next
next
week,
week.
give us your preview because we couldn't see it.
Oh, okay. Well, let me think now. Well, this is only the second episode I've seen, so I just knew I had to watch this one because Frank told me it was named after me today. So.
Why don't you watch them?
I try to. I'm busy sometimes, you know.
Slaying hoes left and right. Didn't you see his track record on the show?
Oh no!
Is that what you're doing? "Quote unquote" slaying
No, that's not
hoes?
what I'm doing. I'm probably in the garage working on a motorcycle.
He's in construction because he's laying the pipe.
Oh my God. Okay, just help us out. What are we seeing next week?
Next week, what's
Girls
happening?
elimination. They tease the challenge. What is it?
Girls. Oh yeah, girls elimination. It's good. It's a good one. That's right. I forgot. It's heated getting into it too.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
that's
know what? I
so much
feel like-
information.
Fantastic
Great
recap, Jordan. Fantastic.
You should change your job.
Well, I mean, how do you say? I don't know. I feel like it's the same recipe each week. Someone's pissed off at somebody for voting them in or beating them, and
So give us we need some spoilers from the two of you. Anything? What do you got for the next few weeks?
Something that won't get you fined from Unum and Murray.
Please.
yeah, that's
I know
the
about
key.
that. What we see in the mid-season trailer, we see the Camilla meltdown.
Oh, yeah.
God, no
That.
challenge is complete.
She has a meltdown
You got the
again?
Camilla meltdown.
Expect one of the craziest things crazy me, has ever seen.
Did she throw chairs?
She
Nope,
she
better.
throws herself.
Does she walk?
She throws people.
Does
She
she-
not throw people.
Does she walk completely clothed into a pool?
I can't. I don't want to say anything else.
Is alcohol
It's not a challenge
factor?
without a Camilla.
When is it not a factor?
That's true.
So this is next week?
When is it?
I don't
No.
know.
You don't know
shit,
when
I'm
it
so
is.
excited.
Okay, and that's what you guys got for us. Jordan, where can people find you if they are trying to tweet at you or Instagram?
I do that Twitter thing sometimes.
What is it?
I do that. You got. I get to say my name.
You get to plug yourself here.
Plug it.
TV.
What is it?
No, yeah. Follow me on Twitter, Jordan MTV, and Instagram, JWisley89.
Amazing. Okay, and where can we find you, Mark Long?
At the Mark Long. On both Twitter and Instagram.
Throwing across the table, you guys.
Twitter.
Ladies first.
Twitter, Ayiiia, AY, 3 eyes, A_MTV. And Instagram is just my first name, Ayiiia MTV.
Figure that one out. And it's MTV Frank Sweeney for me, guys.
Amazing. I'm at Roxy Striar.
Listen.
Oh,
listen.
this is the. Oh, you hadn't heard the Marlin song.
Marlin
Here
song.
we go.
Julio, listen.
And Bird.
Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it up.
Lay down. Have you heard this, Jordan?
My boyfriend and Marlon are going to be rivals now.
Okay.
Two gay rappers going at it.
Until next week, guys, we'll have, of course, TJ, Jesse, Gianni, and Nicolette back in the studio. Same time, same place. Peace.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
So lose your mind.